Good morning, boys, and welcome to Monday, May 10th. I hope that Mommy loved your Mother's Day gifts. Miss Amanda sent me a picture of them, and they were super duper beautiful. So I hope that she enjoyed them. Okay, let's start our day in prayer. Let's fold our hands and bow our heads. Dear God, thank you for my mommy, and I just want to say how much I love her on this Mother's Day. Amen. Okay, so today, all about spiders. Miss Spider's Tea Party. This is the story that we're going to read. Miss Spider's Tea Party. And then we're going to do a worksheet. Here's our spider web, and we're going to do some cutting. We're going to cut out a bunch of spiders, and we're going to glue them on our web. I have a picture of Miss Spider right here, and I colored it, and we can color or paint it. Here it is. I colored mine. This is what yours looks like. So there's our coloring page. And then we have a really cool terrarium, and it has plants in it. And we are going to add our bugs to it. And we have butterflies, we have beetles, we have bumblebees, and we have ants. So, and if you want, I gave you a whole sheet of spiders. You can put some spiders in there. These are the bugs that we're going to talk about this week. Let me get my book just to be sure I'm not forgetting anything. We're going to talk about spiders. Then on Tuesday, we're going to talk about ants. On Wednesday, we're going to talk about bumblebees. Thursday, we're going to talk about ladybugs. And you're going to be surprised because ladybugs are not just red and black. And then we're going to talk about the clumsy beetle. That's how we're going to finish up our week, with the clumsy beetle. So, the last worksheet we're going to do is called Decorate Dad's Tie. And we're going to look at these numbers on the top here, and then we're going to put the ovals or circles, some kind of dots that match the number on the ties. So let's jump into our day. Now, Miss Spider has a bunch of different books, all kind of spin-offs on her original book. But I like this book. It's called Miss Spider's Tea Party Counting Book. And for the occasion, we have Miss Spider visiting us today. Look, oh boy, look at her eyelashes. She's got a little problem going on there. But here's our beautiful Miss Spider. So I'm going to put her down here. And let's open with Miss Spider's counting book. Okay, so there was one lonely spider who wished that she could play. One little spider here wished that she could play. Two beetles gasped and ran away. Remember, we're going to talk about beetles later. Three fireflies saw her web and fled. I think they're pretty scared of her. We won't come in, that's for sure, those 4 bees said. They're staying out. Look, they're on the other side of the window. 5 rubber bugs stared silently. They decided they're not coming in either. 6 ants refused to drink her tea. She poured tea for them for a tea party, and they said, no, thank you. 7 butterflies hid from sight. Look, they're this beautiful bouquet of flowers, and they hid in the flowers. Why do you think they're so scared of her? 8 tea cakes set without a bite. Look at her face. She made these beautiful tea cakes. She has this nice tea set up, and nobody's coming. 9 spotted moths appeared, but then there they are, all 9 of them. In fear, they flew away again. Look at their faces. Oh, they're flying away. Miss Spider sobbed. They've all dashed off. Look at her face. They've all dashed off. Across 10 cups, she spied a moth. She dried his wings, then tossed him high. Guess his wings were so dry, look. So she dried his wings and she tossed him up in the air so he could fly. Next day, 11 bugs came by. I think this moth is down here letting these other bugs know that she's super nice. "12 flowers were their gift to say, 'We heard you're kind. Come let us play.'" Aww. See, they were scared of her, and then she helped the moth, and the moth came and said, "Wait, you have her all wrong. She is very kind. You should join her for her tea party." The end. Okay, so the paper that I gave you, there she is. And she's very happy that her friends came. And she's in her web, and we have some flowers or some leaves around. This is what yours is going to look like. This is a coloring or a painting page, whatever you would like to do. I'm going to put that to the side. We're not going to do that together. You can do that when it's time to color or paint. And let's move on to our web. Here's our web. I'm not sure I gave you the same web that I have here. I have quite a few different kinds of webs, but here's the web that I'm using today. And let's take our spiders with their 8 legs, and we're going to get our scissors out, and we're going to cut the spiders along the line. So the dot to dot line. Okay, and remember scissor safety. See where my fingers are? They're away, so I'm not going to cut myself by accident. Okay, and we're going to keep cutting. Taking our time, doing our best work. And then here's the last one. And again, look where my fingers are. They're back here, so I'm not going to cut myself by mistake. All right, and then we're going to take our glue stick and we're going to put our spiders on our web. And you can do them any way you want. When I'm doing this, I kind of like to do a pattern. So I always start with putting my spider in the middle, and then you can see this is kind of a road. So I'm going to put them all along the path. All along. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of starting from the middle, and I'm just kind of going around the path and placing the spiders. But like I said, it's your design, so you could do it any way that you would like. And just keep going and have fun with it. Whenever I do spiders, work with spiders, I think of Miss Spider here, and I also think of Charlotte's Web and the spider that was in Charlotte's Web. That was pretty cool. I don't know if you've been able to watch that movie or read that book yet. Okay, so here's my design. Just any way you want it, you're going to place those spiders on there, and then you can go back and color them if you would like. That's up to you, and you can do that in your coloring time. All right, so let's decorate Dad's ties. We're looking for the numbers in the knot of his tie. And then we're coloring in dots to equal that number. So you see in the top here, the knot says 3. So we have 3 dots here. And we're going to continue with 6 and so on and so forth. So I'm going to give you some time to do that. You can pause the video if you want. I'm going to do it with you. But if you want to pause the video and do it if I'm going too fast, you can. What color do you feel like using today? I'm going to use red. I haven't used red in a while. So you start your ties. I'm going to do one right here just to show you how I'm doing mine. So I read that the knot said 6 and I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe we could do them all different colors. We could if we wanted to. I did something silly on the 1 tie, the number 1. I'll show you it when you're done. Kind of looks like a clown tie, what I did. Make sure you put your name on the top. And like I said, if you need to, you can pause the video. But look at my number 1. I just made a bigger dot. And you're going to continue this way all through the worksheet. If you're not done now, pause the video and you can finish. And if you are done, you can just move on with me. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to do today, we're going to do 2 things. In fact, I'm going to get our S because that's our letter of the week. And then I'll give you time to to finish up your worksheet. I'm going to grab my S. Why do you think that S is one of my favorite letters? Why do you think S is one of my favorite letters? Well, I'll tell you why, because it's the letter my name begins with. Okay, so here's our letter S. Here's our capital S. So this is what my name starts with, and also Sean's name. And then here is the lowercase s. And Josh has that in his name. Things that begin with S. Socks. A seal. Soup. Sunflower. And a saw. The sun begins with S. Swings begin with S. Sing begins with S. Okay, so S, and it says here, S is for soup, so good to eat. S is for the socks that we put on our feet. All right, so hopefully you're done your worksheet now. Thinking about our letter S. And we are going to go back to our terrarium and take some time, and we can color in our plants. I actually thought I had my plants colored in, but I don't have my sample here. But I'm just going to grab markers and just do a couple of these leaves. And you see enclosures like this sometimes when you have reptiles, or when you have different kinds of bugs. Sometimes you even see these with just plants in them, moss. When I was a little girl, I had one that had, I have family in Maine, and my grandparents went and they sent home. It was a glass enclosure, and it had moss in it, and it had rocks and a couple little plants from Maine. And in it had little figurines, a deer and a bear. It was super cute. I wish I still had it. I would love to share that with you. All right, so we're gonna just color this stick, I guess you wanna call it, because it's not really planted. Sometimes they have artificial ones too. If you see this, if you go to the zoo, you might see a big one, you might see a snake wrapped around it, or even a little frog hiding in it. Okay, so, but we're gonna put insects in ours. And like I said, if you wanted to include the insects, the ants that we did, you can. But we have some butterflies. Flutter, flutter, butterfly, floating in the summer sky. Floating by for all to see. Floating by so merrily. Flutter, flutter, butterfly, floating in the summer sky. We're going to start seeing so many butterflies, and I have a butterfly bush at my house. So I can't wait this year. It was little last year, and it's so much bigger, so I can't wait. Okay. On my last strip. If you need more time, you just hit the pause button. And now we're going to take our insects and we're going to design where we're going to put them. Now, the bees and the butterflies, well, the butterflies could be hanging out on the stick. I guess the bees could too. So anything that's flying, you're going to either want that propped up against the tree, or you're going to want to have it in the air. And you know what? You don't have to use them all if you don't want to. I just gave you a strip of them, so you'd have, you know, whatever you wanted. And you can go back when we're done, and you can absolutely color these insects in, especially the beetles. They could be really cool colors. Put some ants flying, some bumblebees and butterflies flying. And I'm going to put some cool beetles in here. Friday, we're going to talk about beetles. All right. And I just arranged it any way I thought looked cool, but you can make it any way you want. And then take out those markers or crayons and color in those butterflies, those bees. The bee's knees. I'm doing mine fast, so it doesn't look super great, but you'll get the idea. I just did a couple quick ones so you could see what mine looks like. And I have some left over. So like I said, you don't have to use them all if you don't want to. That's fine. Okay, and that is it for today. So I hope you enjoyed Miss Spider's Tea Party and Her Counting. One of my favorite books. Letter S. And we're going to talk about bugs this week. Bugs, bugs. That's right. All right, boys. Have a super good day. Do your best work. Make sure your name's on everything. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.